I saw a picture in the Detroit News of a woman federal marshal in front of the federal courthouse in Miami with a shotgun on her hip. And she was a very attractive young woman. And as soon as I saw that picture, I thought, that's a book.
I think what I relate most easily to in Elmore Leonard's work is the sense of irony. It's that tone. It's a very odd tone.
Now you be a good girl. Now I'm going to open up the jar.
It's funny, but it's not gag funny, and it's dramatic, but it's not, you know, really heavy. When I read the script to Out of Sight, I just felt like I knew what that tone was.
Federal Marshal, you're under arrest.
Then my job was to convince Jersey Films and Clooney, who was already attached, that I wasn't kidding.
There isn't a whole lot of action driving the film. It's a character piece, but it's the kind of characters that Elmore Leonard writes. They're very smart, very full characters, and it's a really exciting project for that alone. It's something fun to do, and it's also the best actors you could ever hope to work with.
What are you doing here?
It's okay, honey. We're the good guys.
Oh, stop! All right. You're just a girl. You do for a living, you pack a shotgun.
I'm a federal marshal and you're under arrest.
Karen, besides being a really good part for a woman, was difficult to cast because she had to be feminine and sexy and appealing.
Get your hands in the air! Stop!
And she also had to be believable as a cop. When she picked up a gun and used that stick,
Damn it!
you needed to believe she could hurt you.
You wanted to tussle.
And that, combined with having some sort of rapport with George, made it a tall order. We saw a lot of people, and something about Jennifer just really worked.
You still look fresh as a daisy.
She was great, but what really struck me was George was better with her than I'd seen him be with anybody else. Something in her pushed him, and that's what really convinced me, oh, that's going to work.
Can I buy a drink?
Pantomime and background action and action.
Thing was George's idea, and I thought a really good one, because you just believe him. I mean, there's an integrity to him.
I really wanted Ving to do this, and we really kind of had to seduce him into it. In fact, I offered him, my girlfriend, which was painful to do. But hey, anything for the movie.
I'm the only man here married, and I'm happy. Everyone else here is melancholy.
He had an energy in this movie that I really liked. He was more emotional, than you see him a lot.
What's your problem, Jack?
He gets very animated at times and sort of agitated with Jack. I really liked that. I thought that was a great thing. It's not it's not in the script. It's just something that Ving felt really affects him, and he's really worried, and he expresses it. Whereas Jack is sort of more closed off.
Between you and I, Elmore, I don't know where you are right now, but I think you wrote Buddy as a blonde, blue-eyed man. He's not that any longer. He's a strong, bald-headed black man. Ving Rhames, the original man.
Buddy is white in the book, but it works perfectly. There's no reason why he wouldn't be African American.
Elizabeth Taylor falling.
Albert Brooks, who's just one of the funniest human beings on the planet.
Barbra Streisand falling.
Albert Brooks is sick.
Albert Brooks has no shot at all. He can't go left, he can't go right, he can't dribble. Well, he dribbles, but not with a basketball. It's just,
The great thing about Albert is that I knew that he'd do the funny stuff, but he could also play the guy who's just a bastard.
Why don't you show me you can change? Then I'll offer you something better, a lot better. But until then, my friend, you'll have to earn it.
His whole idea of, I want to play it bald, and I want to get out, and I want to have this terrible toupee, I just thought that was great. And he had these weird teeth that made him speak differently. His voice sounds different. It's like a lower register.
Hey, take it easy!
I took the part because I liked just to play somebody completely different than myself. You see the teeth and everything. And also I like the director, Steven Soderbergh, he's excellent. And that, to me, is a deciding factor. Even more than the other actors you're with is the director of a movie, because that's the person that's going to control it.
Steven Soderbergh is, well, he's not really directing the film.
We really have to hold his hand mostly through this process. He's young.
Soderbergh is drunk most of the time, so there's a big, She had not much to give, other than like 8 o'clock in the morning. It might be okay for like a half hour.
So we try to help him, but we can only do so much. A lot of times we just say, Steve, just sit down. I'll direct this one. I'll take this one. You're a little rabbity.
If you can get Don Cheadle in your movie, I think you should get Don Cheadle in your movie.
Who's Don Cheadle?
I'm a huge fan of his, and he's got a pretty good jump shot. He can go left or right. He's very quick, but he's a little streaky when he shoots from outside.
Now let's talk about the sexiest man alive, Steven Soderbergh. He goes, I've never met an actress who takes direction as well as you, who hates to take direction. And I go, I don't hate to take direction. I just like my choices more than yours.
He's just one of the best directors you could ever work with. He takes a movie and he doesn't just shoot the script, he makes a movie on it. He's really fun, really exciting.
Really, I think what he's done the best is cast the film in a way that he's got all the action going on already. You know, he's got us all doing what he hired us to do in the first place. So a lot of it, he just kind of sits back and says, yeah, good, do that again.
He has very definite cinematic ideas about this movie. I think Steven will make it look more unusual than the average person. He will sort of do things that maybe somebody else wouldn't.
The process of trying to figure out what the look and the feel of the film is going to be is sitting down and talking about the palette and talking about the feel of each of the locations. I always hate it when I see a movie where everything looks the same. The desert prison at Lompoc, there are obviously any number of ways we could have gone with the jumpsuits. I decided that yellow obviously would be the best, that you could have this kind of monochromatic, blown out feeling. I wanted glades to still feel kind of lush, if possible, but have the colors be a little deeper and darker, and avoid the sort of aquas and yellows and oranges of Miami. In Buddy's apartment, more than any place else, the windows are really blown out, which we wanted to also associate with Miami. We were overexposing usually a minimum of 4 stops outside the window, because those are all sets, and we didn't want them to look like sets. Gunmetal blue, that's what I always had in mind when I thought of Detroit. So that opening montage to me needed to set that tone and have that real steely feel about it. So the palette in Detroit is very subdued. The colors are very muted. The exception being when we get to the Ripley house and we go inside. And for the first time in Detroit, we're in a sort of warm surrounding. When I came on board, the film was being told in chronological order. And Scott, Frank, and I both felt that was a problem because we weren't meeting Karen until 30 minutes into the film. And we just felt that was too long. And Scott said, I think we've got to use flashbacks. It was the only way to tell this story properly. And not just because of economy, not just because I didn't want to start the movie with 20 minutes of exposition, but also because I knew a scene like Jack going to see Ripley in his office about the job has more impact 90 minutes into the film than it would have 9 minutes into the film. You'd have nothing invested, and so the scene wouldn't have any weight. And I think I knew that it was better that we employ the flashback structure. And Leonard plays those tricks in his book a lot. The freeze frame idea was something that I knew ahead of time I wanted to do. But I didn't have a formula. I knew I was going to do it at the beginning. I knew that I wanted to freeze him in motion, you know, and have the title come on. But beyond that, I was going strictly on instinct. If you notice, the love scene is the last time we do it. I felt the movie was caught up and that we were now in the present and that there wasn't a need for that sort of commentary anymore.
My favorite scene in the book was the scene in the trunk of her car, because it's so important, it's so vital. It's got to work. They've got to come together, you know, in an understanding of a liking for one another. And how do you do it? They start talking about movies, and there's something there that they both share that I think makes it work.
Usually in a movie, there's one scene that absolutely defies you. The trunk scene was that. scene in this movie.
My first instinct was to do it all black. You maybe see the taillights, but you really don't see anything. You just hear all this great dialogue. But then I thought, it's going to be hard to sit still looking at, what amounts to 10 minutes of, black leader on screen. So I wanted to figure out a way that I could get some light inside the trunk, because in the book, it's really dark, and he's sort of, feeling her leg, and, they're up close. So I had him find a flashlight in the trunk.
How would someone like you become a federal marshal?
The idea of going after guys like you appealed to me.
So what was that? Guys like me?
At the exact moment he's going to sort of start all over, he meets this woman, and it's all about the road not taken. He becomes obsessed with, what if I wasn't a bank robber?
We may as well leave her. We're leaving the car, and we gotta leave her someplace anyway. What's the difference where?
Coming with us.
Look, Jesus Christ, what were you doing in there?
He's a romantic. He escapes from prison and falls in love with a federal marshal and spends the rest of the time just trying to get caught by the right person. Just trying to get caught by Jennifer Lopez, which all of us at one time or another should. I advise trying it. It's good fun.
I love George. He's super sexy, and that's why they put him on the cover of that magazine.
That's me. Remember that.
They sold millions of copies of it, that's why.
Despite herself, she's sort of attracted to this guy because she's really attracted to, as her father says, the cowboy cops, and saying they're not much different than the bank robbers.
Just by listening to his voice and the two of them being in this close proximity for all this time, there's something between them.
We met under different circumstances. You were at a bar, and I came up, we started talking. I wonder what would happen.
Nothing.
It's an 11-page scene, and I think that it's one of those things that can work that way. It can be its own kind of one-take set piece.
We did 45 takes. We stopped the first day at take 38 and went home, and George and Jennifer were just distraught. And I was beginning to wonder if this was a good idea.
Oh, my God.
This is the moment where you go, are you going to go for this, or are you going to be a wuss?
I had a feeling, though, they'd come back the next morning ready to go, and they did. And take 44 was, for my money, perfect. And that was the take that we put in the movie for the first preview. It's hard to describe the reaction of the preview audience to that uninterrupted take in the trunk. I'd say it took them a good half hour to 45 minutes to get back into the film. It derailed them so completely that it was it was embarrassing. So we reshot the trunk.
Stand by. And action.
Most of our attention was on deepening the emotional life of the film.
In the book, Foley and Karen Sisko are thinking about each other a lot, and I didn't know how to sort of dramatize that in the movie, so we sort of invented new scenes that did that.
One is the fantasy sequence. That's a Scott Frank invention, which I thought was brilliant.
Hello?
Hi.
And the other was Foley calling Karen on the phone while Ray Nicolette is in the room with her dad. Jack is one of those people who feels that he's on the back side of his life. That if there was a peak, he's now on the downhill side of it. What he wants more than anything is not to spend that period of his life in prison. One of the things that kept him on this road of incarceration is never meeting somebody like Karen.
Jack's come to the point in his life where he's decided he's going to die or be happy. If you like island, we'll make it an island.
What do you mean we'll make it an island?
You and I can make it. Yep.
He's accomplished the one goal that he had, which was not to perish in a prison. But now that one thing that he always felt was missing from his life is right in front of him, but carries with it the very distinct possibility that he'll be sent back to prison.
Be advised, we are approaching the door.
The elevator doors slide open, and there's Jack and Buddy. And she's sitting down, this is the way it is in the book anyway, she's sitting down looking straight ahead at the elevator, and then I think a woman gets in the elevator, Jack looking right at her, and then Jack waves, just as the doors close. I hope it's shot that way. I'm not sure.
The elevator wave is in the book and done almost as written. And is a moment that, if it works in the film, I think is because of Jennifer and George. Their reactions are so great because they're understated.
For a second, she's not sure if it's him, and then she realized, I mean, she's only seen him in the dark, covered with mud, so it's a weird thing. And then, you know, she sees him there, and she knows it's him for a second, and then he's gone.
Karen Cisco?
Yeah. She's in the lobby.
She's in the lobby?
Yeah.
Show us your ID.
I don't have any idea. And it was pretty fun to sit there with those people. A lot of times in society we push out anybody who's, you know, in our minds old. There's just no place for them in society. Just remember that I'm hot.
That's what you're saying.
And so it's fun to be around them and spend time with them, because I don't really get a chance to. Except for Albert, Albert Brooks is, a lot of people don't know that, but he's 74 years old. He loses his mind a little bit, and it's sad.
The scene here at the State Theater, I think, is one of the more interesting ones. I came here about 2 years ago when I was researching. They have boxing shows here from time to time. Right away, I liked the color, the excitement. I thought this is perfect background for a scene where, in the foreground, a plot is going on to rob the home of a wealthy individual.
See if we can get you here.
There are a number of camera setups here which will cover more than just one thing going on. I think it works perfectly. I'm so glad that I did come here and did use it in the book.
Scenes like this in films are really difficult to do because there's supposed to be a lot of, you know, ambient noise, there's supposed to be a lot of crowd noise going on, but it's actually silent. So you have to yell louder than the imagined noise that's going on. So it can feel really false and like you're really hanging out there by yourself.
Take him downstairs, Joey. Weak downstairs. He weak downstairs.
Maurice is just encouraging his boxer, and I think it's also a nice direction because Steven had almost everybody else in the crowd against my boxer, so that's kind of how Maurice feels anyway, him against the world, so it kind of worked out.
You know what? I have to take a pee.
Steve Zahn is going to steal this whole movie. He's just hilarious.
Hey, you know what I was thinking? If you didn't drive me to the federal court last summer, you wouldn't even know who I am.
If I didn't know you, Glenn, by tomorrow you'd be in jail or dead. Think of it that way. Now run.
That's the turning point for the movie. That's when everything gets real serious. The whole time, the reason Jack Foley is so relaxed is he feels like he's just going to go into Ripley's house a day ahead of whenever Snoopy Miller. And what he finds out is Glenn, who screwed it up to begin with by inviting Snoopy Miller into the process, is now ditched, which makes Snoopy Miller know he can't wait because he knows with Glenn running around out there, he's got to go right now. So now they all have to go together.
It's going down tonight. We're going to leave here, go to my crib, pick up some shit we need, and go do it.
It's the whole setup for the final sort of set piece in the house.
Everybody's a bad guy in the movie. There's just different gradations of, you know, bad guys, and everybody has some flaw, which is real, you know?
You tell your sister about it?
Yeah, I just hung up. She prayed for me.
You tell your sister about Ripley, did you?
Look, Jack, just forget about my sister, okay?
Buddy is going through a sort of spiritual dilemma. He's planning for this to be his last big-time crime, and then he's going to go straight.
They do get into this theory that everyone has of one last big score and get out. And I think that Jack doesn't really believe in that, doesn't really believe those things work.
Jack knows at some basic level that something is going to go wrong and he's going to lose. And he keeps trying, but there's something fatalistic about him. It's very compelling, but it's something that I think some movie stars would have trouble with.
Richard Ripley is home in his mansion with his maid, and these men accost him, come in. He tries to hide. It doesn't work.
How you doing?
What in God's name is happening in my house? Who's upstairs?
Snoopy Miller, a couple of his friends.
Maurice? From Lompoc?
Yep.
God almighty. Have they got Midge up there?
I'm a man, sits on a toilet and asks me
I'm going to get smashed on the head with a gun. I'm going to get severely hurt. I need to call my agent. I just realized this. It's not in my contract.
Red.
Maurice. Those my suits?
Nah, they mine. Nice piece.
Huh?
It's a very interesting thing in life. It doesn't matter how wealthy you are. Nobody will ever tell you your hair's terrible. I see people in the market, they have toupees down to here, and I'm just wondering, who are they dressing with in the morning? Who told them you look great? Have a nice day.
Come on, Jack.
Shit.
What?
They're gonna rape that maid, aren't they?
Well, look at those guys and Ripper too.
And they're gonna kill him.
At least.
It's the climax of the movie. It's coming to terms with exactly how bad a bad guy you want to be.
Going back in.
I'll go with you.
You dump the van, meet me at the airport. I'll get one of Ripley's cars.
Jack.
Buddy, listen, the shit that's about to go down here, you'll be on the phone with your sister for a month. All I'm saying is we're square.
Jack is the female of the movie.
Get your hands off me!
He's a feeler. He lets his emotions rule his decisions. Karen's kind of got the guy part in this movie. I mean, think about it. She comes in at the end, she shoots him, and she walks out.
You think I'd shoot you?
You don't, somebody else will.
You have to believe that she could pick up a gun and shoot you without any question in your mind, and you want her to want to have sex with you.
Damn it, Jack, put the gun down!
No more timeouts.
You win, Jack.
The book ends where she, in fact, busts him. He's completely depressed. He basically wanted her to kill him. She ended up just shooting him and busting him. And I thought, that's the right ending, because she should arrest him. You need that. But how are you going to feel after going through this at the movie?
I'm sorry. I wish things were different.
I wanted to find a way to sort of have my cake and eat it too, where she busts him, but there's sort of some kind of hopeful thing at the end. And that was the trick.
Now we're off to Glades.
Yeah, it looks that way. I was supposed to leave last night with the lady marshal, but for some reason she wanted to wait.
She did, huh?
Guess it's cheaper taking two of us down in one van.
Could be. Maybe she thought we had a lot to talk about.
Scott invented that whole last scene, which I thought was crucial to you leaving the movie with an appropriate sense of hope. What I liked about Out of Sight was that at the end of the movie, nobody had a big epiphany. Nobody changed and went, oh my God, I've got to stop doing it. That rarely happens in real life. So Karen's solution is to try and figure out a way for them to still be who they are and see each other.
I couldn't describe this film if I had to. It's the funniest thing. We've been sitting around trying to figure out a way to describe it because it's a comedy first.
If you play comedy, when you're in a comedy, you have the Three Stooges, which is a certain kind of comedy that's very broad. And certainly in a movie like this, there's nothing funny to play. So if the audience is laughing at something, they're laughing at a situation, they're laughing because they feel uncomfortable, they're laughing because they know something the character doesn't, but you always have to play straight, especially in a comedy, which this isn't. Or it might be. Whatever you want.
It's hard to put a label on what this movie is, because it's funny and then it's immediately not funny at all.
I think it's a love story. Yeah, I think it's a love story. I think it's a drama.
It's a drama, yeah, but it's also like a chase movie in a way, and it's also a love story. I, of course, being the woman and incurable romantic that I am, see it as a love story.
It would really be fun if, when we finish, that this movie is as good as we hope it is, and we didn't let down the script. And then after that, you hope that people would enjoy that project as much as we do, because it sure is fun to do. A nice bunch.